For those who have been through Stockholm Syndrome, what was your experience like? Extremely confusing. I went through it with my ex. He was extremely physically and mentally abusive and it kept me in a very low mental state. It was knowing that everything he was doing was wrong and hating him for it, but doing everything in my power defending him, loving the happy parts and staying with him. For me, it was not being ready for my life that I got used to change. I wanted things to stay how I knew it. After leaving I can't imagine ever going back to him. It's horrible. You empathize with a maniac and no matter what they do you justify it. Then that trauma continues with relationships moving forward. At least mine did. At first I was struggling every day but as time moved on I grew to like JavaScript. I was getting out of jail and had a choice between the streets or moving in with a guy who was into me, even though I really wasn't into him. I had been in solitary for a while and was feeling vulnerable as fuck both mentally and physically, so I moved in with him and stayed about a year. I had no one and nothing else. He provided room and board and safety and in exchange, he got my body, at least once a day, every day, whether I liked it or not. He claimed he loved me, and I believed it. I blamed myself for not being able to care about him. We stayed friends after I was able to save up enough money to move out, because he loved me, and he saved my life. It took me years to call it rape. Not exactly SS, but my ex harassed me and lover bombed hate bombed me for 3 years continuously and sexually assaulted me, gaslighted me through this period. I gave him another chance and dated him for a year even though I was scared but also dependent to him. He abused me in that relationship and also found out terrible things about him. We mutually broke up but it sent me on a depression spiral. Thought all his behavior was my fault and I'd made him that way. Messaged him saying sorry etc. It's only after he started on another girl and I saw how this could hurt her I realized then the shock of being used, groomed or whatever it was just floored me. Never be over it as this was age 13-16. How did it feel? Like two opposites dreading their company but needing it. Fearing them but fearing being alone even more. Feeling their actions are your fault. You made them that way. I am married now to someone else but still have an unhealthy relationship with sex, conflict and people raising their voices. I also feel like a failure on the regular. I developed an unhealthy level of distrust in people, rarely have restful sleep and startled too easily. It made a perfectly good person into a hateful, miserable creature. You are still a perfectly good person. They can't take that from you.